Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as Retro Lemon, and this is episode 40. Can you believe we are only 12 weeks away from my 1-year podiversary? I'm excited. That's 3 months. So the last 9 months has gone super fast and has been super exciting, and I'm amazed by it all. It's all overwhelming at times to think about it, but it's been fun so far. A big hello to all the new viewers who decided to pop by and all the new people who have joined the group. And then a huge thank you to everybody who keeps coming back week after week. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Okay, first off, we had the prize thread for the 500 member giveaway, and I locked that shortly before I sat down to record. We had 83 people, but I figured before I announce who the winners are, I'm going to try to answer a few more questions, because I thought that was really fun. I'm like, oh, every time I see someone post a question, I wish I could just like respond to it in the thread, but you can't because it's a prize thread. So, try to get through a few more of these. Some of them are repeats, which is fine. I mean, you could ask the same question someone else did, that's fine. Or if you didn't have a question, that was fine as well. So, okay, we'll pick up where we left off. So the first question, where we left off, is what is your biggest fear? So I'm assuming she's talking about knitting. My biggest knitting fear is like really intricate, multiple color worked socks. Huge fear. There's like these ones that have like, I don't know, jelly beans or candy or something on them, and you're supposed to use like 4 different colors, and I'm not a very good color work knitter. My work tends to be a bit tight, and that's being nice. I don't like switching colors a lot. Not my thing. And then I'm like, shoot, if they're going to be tight, what if they don't fit? What if you put all that work into them and they don't fit? That would suck. So that's my biggest knitting fear. If you weren't a knitter / toy designer, what would you want to be? Wow. Okay, I have always wanted to be a marine biologist. I know, right? So there's this one documentary with James Cameron, and he's like in this like big like bubble thing, and my dog's wagging her tail against the door. And he like went to like the furthest depths of the ocean, and I would love to do that. I would love to do stuff like that. So if I could be anything I wanted to be, that would be it. And it doesn't help, I get motion sickness and I don't do well on a boat at all. So it's a far stretch. What kind of needles do you prefer? I only knit with Knit Picks Harmony needles. They're wood. I believe they're birch. I was gonna say they're multicolored, but they have now come out with natural colored ones, because a lot of people complained it was hard to see with the color. Here, hold on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But this is a straight one. I don't know if you'll be able to see all of the beautiful multicolors that are in this. These are the only thing I knit with because I don't like metal needles. They hurt my hands. I get a lot of pain in my hands a lot, even before I knit or crocheted or did anything like that. It's always been a problem, and I've just found with metal needles they make my hands hurt a lot more, and the wood don't do that. So I don't have a problem knitting with the wood needles. I also like that they're super pointy. You can get bamboo needles at like Joann's and all that. They're clover needles, and they're really just blunt. I don't like them at all. I like that these are super pointy, super slick, but not as slick as metal needles, because if you get a really good metal needle, it's a really super slick. I don't like that at all. This has just a slight grab to it because it's wood. And I have never, well, okay, I can't say never. I have only had one problem with the Knit Picks interchangeables with the cable coming out of the metal fixture. I called them up. They sent a replacement. That replacement was fine. I've never had problems with them, I guess. I've been lucky. I love the cables. They're super flexible. To me, they are my ideal needle. I realize they're not for everybody. So for me, it's Knit Picks all the way. I use their double points. I have some straights, although I very rarely ever use them because I like circulars so much, and I have tons of circulars. Okay, how do you find time to sleep with everything else you do? I don't sleep very much. I don't sleep very well. I go through really big bouts of insomnia. It's been okay lately. I couldn't sleep very well last night, but I was alright. But I do sleep. Just, I don't get enough as I want to, or probably should. Someone asked, I either overstuff or understuff. How do you know when it's just right? Go slow when you stuff your toys. Really take the time to work the stuffing in all the little nooks and crannies and go along and feel. You usually can feel little empty pockets where you just need a tad more stuffing. I think it's better to overstuff your toys than understuff, especially if you're giving them to a child or somebody who's actually going to love on it, because that stuffing is going to get a little more dense. It's going to break down and collapse a little. So if you overstuff it, over time, it'll be fine. But if you understuff it, that toy is going to look flat as a pancake in no time at all. I really think it's just going through and feel, and you can't be afraid to pull all your stuffing back out. I mean, if it doesn't look right, if it looks lumpy, if it looks too overstuffed, or, you know, it's just not working for you, don't be afraid to pull all that stuffing out and start over. And like I said, it's one of those things where you just can't rush it. It's kind of an art within itself. And I think the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Because I know when I first started making toys, I understuffed them horribly. I mean, excuse me. Some of the toys my kids have, like the first ones I made, I mean, they're flat. They're pretty sad looking. So now I am quite generous with the stuffing. A good thing is if you notice you are stuffing your toy, and you stuff it well, and your stitches are stretched showing some of the stuffing through, next time you make a toy with that same yarn or a comparable yarn, go down a needle size and see how that works for you. A lot of the times it's gauge. If your toy is knit too loose, that stuffing is going to show through no matter how much you stuff it or understuff it. It's all about the fabric. You want a pretty tight knit fabric. So that's really the secret to stuffing a toy, is making sure your fabric, first off, is tight enough. I lost my spot for a minute. What inspires you? Lots of times it's my kids. My kids will come up with ideas, and I'm a big kid at heart. I love toys. I love going through the toy aisles, probably more than my kids do these days because they're getting bigger. I've worked in a toy store. Not as much fun as you might think. That's all I gotta say about that. They make it sound like you're gonna go skipping down the aisles and all this other stuff, and yeah, it kind of sucked. But I did work in a toy store nonetheless, and because I do love toys. I'm a huge kid. What patterns are your favorite? Oh, what of your patterns is your favorite? Wow, that is like asking me to pick a favorite child. I think my favorite pattern is George, only because George is a squid, and squids are my favorite animal, and he is the pattern I had the most trouble with. He took me the longest to design because I just couldn't get it right. I just couldn't get him how I wanted him. It just wasn't coming together right, and I can't tell you how many times I ripped out. I just chucked pieces aside, and I literally just threw them out afterwards. I'm like, you can only rip out yarn so much before it looks tattered and crappy. Do you ever have so many ideas and patterns going through your head you have trouble getting them down fast enough? Yes. Absolutely. There are times where when I can't sleep, I'll be laying in bed and I'll have this idea. Like, in my head, I'm constructing this toy, and I'm like, oh, that works, that'll work, and that'll be perfect, and that'll be awesome. And I make the mistake of not writing it down. Like, I need to get up and take notes or write it down, because if not, it's gone. By morning, it's gone. I mean, it really... And then there's other times, I mean, I get, like, designer's block. And, like, no matter how hard I try, I can't get something to work. It looks wonky, or I just don't have inspiration. It goes in spells. I would like to know what, if any, knitting gadgets are your favorite and why? Let's see, my favorite knitting gadgets. I love locking stitch markers because they are so useful in so many ways. You know, you can lock them on a stitch, you can use them as a regular stitch marker, put them on your needle. Let's see, what else do I mean, those for me are an absolute must. I also do love my kitty snips, my Hiya kitty snips. They make puppy snips too, but I'm a cat person. And those two things I don't think I could knit without. I actually have 2 pair of kitty snips. I keep one on my spinning wheel to cut threads and strings and yarns and whatnot. And I keep one in my Knitting Notions pouch because it's small and easy to keep track of and easy to lose. There's a downside to that. I kind of answered this question last week of how do I have time to knit and spin, design, and podcast. You know, I work at home. I do all this at home. I don't really go anywhere. I don't have like this big, huge, crazy social life. Lately I haven't been able to get out a lot much due to a number of crazy reasons. And so I knit. It's what I do. I probably would go nuts without it, in all honesty. Oh, this is a good one. You mentioned that your daughter knits. Will you teach your son if they're interested? Absolutely. My boys want to learn how to knit so bad, and we've tried. We have tried, and I just don't think they have the dexterity for it yet. We've talked about maybe when they're on winter break from school, we might give it a try again, because we'll have days to sit down and go through it and not be running around so much. This is a good one. Your favorite yarn that you have ever knit with? Honestly, I think my most favorite yarn that I've ever knit with, and this is so hard to narrow it down because I remember seeing this question a week ago when it was asked, and I really thought about it. And I think the yarn that I've knit with that I was just like, oh my goodness, I wish I could knit everything with it, is the Twisted Fiber Arts Tasty Base. It's superwash merino, cashmere, and nylon. I don't have one. I thought I might have. No, my shawl's way over there. I knit a whippoorwill with it, and it was the softest, most delicious yarn I have ever knit with. Seriously, like, it was ridiculously amazing. I would love to, like, have a sweater in that. Now, since it's just a shawl, and I've wore it, I don't know, a handful of times, it hasn't pilled or anything for me. I don't know how it would do as a sweater because it is so soft. It doesn't have a halo to it at all. It's just so buttery soft. It's ridiculous. So, that I would definitely love to buy more of and make more projects with it, but it is pricey. So I've only made one. Ooh, what is your biggest knitting disaster or regrettable knitting FO? I haven't had too many, like, big, huge disasters. Because I'll work at something till it's perfect. I mean, I don't... I haven't had any, like, major accidents. Like, I've seen people where cats get a hold of projects and eat half of it. But I think really something that was really disappointing that felt like a disaster was I made a sweater. And when I blocked it, it grew huge. I should not have wet blocked it the way I did. I should not have immersed the whole thing in water, because I should have just laid it out and spray blocked it or something, because when I blocked it, it came out like 2 sizes too big. And it was just really disheartening because it took a lot of yarn. It wasn't overly expensive, but I mean, when something takes a lot of yarn, it still costs a decent amount. And I don't want to wear it now, because when I put it on, I feel frumpy in it. So that was definitely my biggest like letdown of, oh, crap, you know. But other than that, nothing like major, like knock on wood here, has happened so far. So, where is your favorite place to sit and knit? My favorite place to sit and knit is probably in the chair in the living room. That's where I do most of my knitting. What is your favorite podcast moment? Wow, that's a toughie. Gosh, I don't know. I'll think about that one, come back to it. I'm sorry. That one, I don't know. Favorite podcast moment. I don't know. What is, okay. Your bio says you're a crocheter turned knitter. What made you want to learn knitting versus crocheting? And which is easier / better in your opinion? Oh, that's a loaded question right there. Okay. In my opinion, one is not better than the other at all, because to me they're 2 totally different crafts. They both just happen to involve yarn. For me, knitting was easier. A lot of it is because I think with using the 2 needles, at least in my case, when I knit, if my right hand, because I'm right-handed, happens to get a little sore or feels overworked, I can take over more with my left hand. Like, I feel like I don't just knit with my right hand. I distribute it kind of evenly between the 2, if that makes any sense. For me, crocheting was a lot of twisting and turning of my right wrist, and it really would hurt. I couldn't crochet for hours on end like I can knit. My biggest thing to learn to knit, my biggest motivation is I wanted to make socks. Now, I know you can crochet socks, but let's face it, they're lumpier and bumpier. I mean, really, there's no denying that. I don't like thick socks, and sometimes depending on the yarn, even when I knit socks, I can feel the purl bumps, and it'll drive me nuts. Softer yarns I don't have a problem with. So once I learned how to knit, it was like a fish in water kind of thing. I really just took to it naturally. My crocheting was always a bit tight. I always had gauge issues. Which knitting book should everybody own? I had it over here last week, in case if I came to that question, because I remembered, and I probably moved it. Shoot. Anyways, my favorite knitting book, the one that I think everybody should own, is Margaret Radcliffe's, it's a little pocket-sized book. It's the Knitting Answer book. It's green, has like a purple spine, and it's like yay big. It's like little size, and it can fit in your knitting bag. And okay, there are knitting questions in there that I have come across that book has not been able to answer, like how to make one left and make one right, because I always get confused. But for the most part, that book I think is really helpful and really handy to have. And oh, it's right here. It was under another book. This book, the Knitting Answer book. It retails for $14.95 US. It doesn't have the Canada price. I'm sorry. I think I got it on Amazon for $10 new. I use this all the time. This sits next to my knitting chair, and I use it all the time. It is in question answer format, which I find very helpful because I don't want to read a whole bunch of crap to find the answer to my question. So, like I said, question and answer format, little, fits into your knitting bag, because I carried this thing around with me for the first year to year and a half I was knitting. And I love it. Like I said, it says solutions to every problem you'll ever face. Not quite, but it comes close. So, I still have to look up how to make one left and make one right when it calls for a specific one. And on knittinganswers.com, but otherwise very handy to have. Definitely worth its $10. Every once in a while I still have to pull it out and look stuff up. So love it, love it, love it. We'll see. Let me know, because there are so many questions that I just, you know, I don't want to take up the whole episode that I didn't get time to ask. So if you want to hear more answers, please let me know, because I like answering it for you. I have a lot of fun answering them, and we'll go on to our prizes now, since I answered some questions. Okay, so you got to vote whether you wanted to win patterns, one person to win a skein yarn, or one person to knit a sample. And the patterns won. So there will be 3 winners. What it is you win a pattern on Ravelry valued up to $6. And it has to be a pattern that's giftable on Ravelry. So, okay, so I went ahead and I just picked numbers. And I didn't look up who the winners were yet. So the first winner is number 44. So that should be on page 2. 44 is Ebon, E-B-O-N. And her name is Elisa. And number 63 is winner number 2. So that would be on page 3. 63, there you are, is Zippy BG. And her name is Kristen. Kristen, you won a pattern. And 58, so that's on the same page, that's nice, which is a Texas yarn. And her name is Allison. So, you 3 ladies, please, like I said, PM me, let me know which pattern you would like, and I will gift it to you. Any pattern up to $6. Yay, I love giveaways. It's so much fun. Okay, next up, I have some thank yous. Oh, I need this for a minute again. I feel really bad because I was gifted a pattern, and I should have mentioned it last week, and it really, honestly, just slipped my mind. So, Carrie, who is Knit Pearl Girl, had gifted me again a wonderful pattern, which is Zuzu's Petals. She saw that when I was talking about my loop bat that I had spun. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. It reminded her of this pattern, so she gifted this to me. So, a huge thank you, Carrie. That was so, so kind, and I feel just horrible not thanking you last week. Another thank you. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I hate the winter only for the dry air. It is so dry here. But anyways, I have another thank you, and this person would like to remain anonymous, but I know who it is, and I wanted to say a huge thank you because I got just the sweetest letter and package in the mail the other day, and she sent me 4 skeins of Knit Picks Chroma. There's one in the Urban, one and a partial one in the Smoothie colorway, which I love this. That is ridiculously gorgeous. One in the Galapagos, which is blues and greens. And one in the Azalea, which is pretty. It's like a really deep plum, and it goes into pinks and reds. And she just wanted to send me something because my life has been super crazy and hectic, and I feel like I can't even catch my breath. And, ooh, runaway skein. And she just wanted to send me something, and I was so touched. And then, because I was talking about the Knit Picks pea pod, she sent me, oh, it was already open, I think. Gotta be smarter than the zipper. There we go. She sent me 2 skeins of the straw in the pea pod. Yay, because I love this color. It is such a gorgeous shade of green. So I can make me pea pod socks. And then what was super awesome is this person was from Arizona. Like, hopefully that's okay to say. But she sent me a set of magnets. Now, I love magnets. I mean, I really love magnets. And what's really cool is they're all from Arizona. But I love those postcards because I love postcards too. I love the postcards that say like greetings from and like your state. And it's a magnet of the postcard that says greetings from Arizona. I don't know that you'll pick it up because it's small. But I love that. That's probably my favorite out of the 4. But I love them all, and I can put them on my fridge now that I've shown all of you. I know, my kids had so much fun looking at those too. We have magnets. Like, our refrigerator is covered with magnets. We're one of those type of families. Moving on, I'm excited. Theodore, the storytelling monster, is now available for purchase. He was a Dancing Dog Dye Works Club exclusive, and I finally got the rights back to him that go ahead. So yeah, I say do a little dance. And then it was a mini Monster Mania, so the yarn that you got in the club was sock yarn. So I made a mini one out of sock yarn, and this one's made out of worsted, so you can see the size difference. And then, because it just keeps getting better, if you kind of watch the blog, because I know some of you are watching on iTunes or Blip, if you happen to catch the blog, I announced something really, really fun. I'm excited about it. I can understand why people are going to be apprehensive. Because it's a mystery toy. I'm excited because I know what the mystery toy is. I think the mystery toy is awesome. I think you're going to love the mystery toy too. But you have to go check, you have to go and pre-order it. Okay, you can wait until the pattern comes out. That's fine. Go ahead. But if you buy it now, you save $1. So it's $5 instead of $6. And when you think of, well, $1, that's not very much. Okay, it is 16.6% off. So if I would have just given you a 10 or 15% code, you wouldn't be saving as much as if I just took off a flat rate of $1. And then it gets better. So I thought, I want to do something fun. And so many people go and buy my patterns the day it comes out, which I think is so awesome and so exciting. So some of those same people have already gone ahead and bought the pattern. So I think it's so cool that they put that trust in me. So I have offered a special deal. If you buy Theodore and the mystery pattern, I wish I had one I could show you and be like, mystery pattern. So if you buy the 2 patterns together, you save $2. So you'll save essentially $1 on the mystery pattern and $1 on Theodore. So he'll be $5 instead of $6 as well. Now, you do not need a special coupon code. Just put them both in your cart, and when you hit checkout, it'll automatically take the price off. So if you go look at the mystery pattern, it'll say $6. But I promise you, when you go to the checkout, it'll take that extra $1 off. And then, like I said, if you happen to buy both patterns, because I figure they're both being released this month, you will get both. Excuse me. Oh, I wish I should have got a drink. I wasn't planning that far ahead, I guess. So, the mystery pattern. The mystery pattern, you can pre-order it at the special price through midnight of November 19th. So that's, if you're watching today on Wednesday, that is 5 days from now. You have 5 days to go and buy that pattern at a discount. Because Monday, November 19th at midnight Eastern Time or New York time, that pattern will go up to $6 because on the 20th, it will be revealed. It will no longer be a mystery. I'm excited about it because I think you're going to love it. I really do. You should get it because I think you're going to want it. So you might as well save $1, right? Just saying. So, like I said, all the details are on the blog about that. And if you go and click on the mystery toy pre-order on my designer page, all of the information is also listed in the pattern details. Moving on to finished objects. Well, 2 of my finished objects are the mystery toy that I can't show you till next week. The other one is my Monkey Boy socks. I am so excited to have these done. It's nice because they knit up pretty quick because they're little socks. They're for my son. He wanted tall socks, not like knee-high socks, but he wanted them a little taller, and I'm like, dude, you're kind of a little short. How tall can they be? Well then, this yarn, the brown and cream striped yarn, was gifted to me by Renee, who's Lips Reel on Ravelry. And literally all I had left, like from one skein, because I split it in half evenly, because my stripes have to match. They match all the way. From one, I had one brown stripe left, and on this one, or let's assume this one, I had one dark brown and one light brown stripe. So 3 stripes was all I had left. I was cutting it pretty close. And then I used a red mini skein for the heels and the toe, and I love that they ended with the cream. Because it reminds me of a sock monkey, because, you know, his mouth's always cream before his big red lips. And that's how the heel looks, too. I'm like, I love it. And then this is just my pattern. I hope they fit him. I'm like, they look a little big, like, around. I was almost going to be like, alright, close your eyes and let me stick these on your feet. But then he'll know he's getting socks. I mean, they've gotten socks the last 2 Christmases, so I think they're expecting socks. So now I gotta start the socks for the other boy. Which I gotta get to my post office and check my P.O. box, because the yarn should be in there. So this yarn is Dancing Dog Dye Works Twist. The stripes is Sock Monkey Madness. With, I think this is Dancing Dog Dye Works Swing Sock, I think. I don't know. She did like a whole thing of minis for Hexy Puffs. And I think that's the base. But it's cherry red. And I love them. If these fit my feet, he might not be getting them. That's all I gotta say about that. Because I love these so much. So fun. I mean, I was just like, I don't know. I was kind of nervous because I'm like, oh, it's just browns with red. I'm like, no, these are awesome. These are so awesome. I want them for me. So, works in progress. I only have one to show you because the other things I have worked on this week, I finished. And if it's something I haven't worked on in the last week, I don't show it to you. So, I started right after, or the evening after I recorded last week. I started knitting my Elefante. It is the Elefante pattern by Susan B. Anderson, and Susan B. Anderson is teaching a class at SSK next summer. I am still on the wait list. You like sad face? But I decided I'm going to participate in the knit-alongs in the SSK group. You can earn raffle tickets and stuff if you make it to SSK to win extra prizes. And I'm not doing it for the raffle tickets. I mean, the raffle tickets are a plus, especially if I go, because I'm like one of those people that I'm like, I'm never going to get to go. But if I make it in and I get to go, this has helped keeping me motivated and excited about the possibility of going to SSK instead of just getting all discouraged and being like, I'm not going, it's just not happening. So essentially the Elefante is kind of done because all the pieces are done. This obviously is the Elefante's head. It looks crazy. It looks kind of like an gas mask almost. But its head goes down like this because it's supposed to be like drinking or something. I actually think the trunk holds it up is what it is, because I stuffed it good too. I think you're just supposed to like embroider on eyes, but I use safety eyes and I use kind of big ones because I'm like, it's a baby elephant. It's supposed to have big eyes. So then there's the body. So it'll go kind of like this. I have a stitch marker just indicating where the exact back is, because I don't want like a cockeyed elephant. So, okay, head, body, and all the pieces parts. So there's one ear, 2 ears. We'll stick that back in there. 1 leg, 2 legs, 3 legs, 4 legs, and a tail. Oh, it's all there. It just needs assembled because I stayed up late. I wanted all the pieces done. What can I say about this pattern? The only beef I have with this pattern is it says, because I use hand spun, which was part of the challenge, was to use, okay, you got so many tickets if you did the knit along, use the Susan B. Anderson pattern. You got extra tickets if you used yarn from one of the vendors that will be there next year. Not that we're there this summer, but next summer. Well, then you got more bonus tickets if you spin the fiber from one of the vendors that will be there next year. Spin it, knit with it. So this will get me the most amount of raffle tickets for this knit along. This is Gail's art. I got it at the Great Lakes Fiber Show. It's a Corridale mix, and it was just a random colorway. So I renamed the colorway Galactic, and I apologize because last week I was all like, I'm going to put a picture in here, and then I didn't. And it wasn't until it was like uploading to Blip, like we're talking like 2 hours into all the uploading, and I wasn't going back to add one picture and waste, you know, more hours. So you just had to go without. But it is in my Ravelry page. If you go to my stash and you click on the hand spun tab, look for the Galactic. It'll be under Gail's art. If you click on that, in the pictures, there is a picture of what it looked like before I spun it. But it is blues and aquas and some grays, a little bit of black. But I think it's cute for the little elephant. I think it's going to be adorable. So while this uploads, I will be assembling my elephant. And I think it is going to be super cute. I can't wait. And it's bigger than I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting like a smaller elephant. But this thing's going to be pretty good size. So that's my only work in progress. Let's see. I think I didn't bring in, I had a magazine to review, but let me tell you, you're not missing out on anything. It's the new Vogue Holiday. Don't buy it. It's not worth it. Just my opinion. Huge letdown. But I do have one thing of Yarny goodness. I have a ball of Cascade 220 Superwash in the pink rose, rose pink. Anyways, color number 835. I think it's called pink rose. Anyways, it's pink. It's light pink because I am pink deficient. And the next pattern I'm going to release after the mystery pattern. It'll either be maybe in December, early January. I'm not giving you a set date because I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, I kind of needed some more pink because this pattern just needs pink. So there it is, light pink. Which, when I ordered this, because I had some bean bucks left, I had like just under $1 of Jimmy Bean's bean bucks and a free shipping coupon. So I'm like, well, might as well use it, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And I was like, okay, I want pink, light pink. You get on there, and there's like 6 different light pinks. I'm like, crap. So then I had to go on Ravelry, search under the superwash wool, and I looked at every different color. And of course, people's lighting is a little different, so it was kind of a crapshoot. But I'm very happy with that. This is the pink I got, because this is kind of pretty much what I had in mind of what I wanted. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to go get that magazine because I left it by my knitting chair. And I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I went and got it because I feel like I'm a little light on content this week. But anyways, I got the new Vogue Knitting Holiday 2012. And I ordered it with my Jimmy Bean's order because I haven't seen it in stores yet. And I just feel like it's a huge letdown. Normally, I find Vogue to have good articles. I can't say that I buy it for the patterns. The patterns are just usually pretty to look at. And there were no really good articles in my opinion. I mean, there were some little snippets of stuff, but nothing that really caught my eye, honestly. I wasn't wowed by any of the articles or like, ooh, I gotta read this like now. The holiday, okay. I'm sorry. I don't have it marked with like tabs and stuff, so I'll try to go through it just quickly. But okay, I look at this and I'm totally like, WTF. Like, look at it here. It's these really weird gold ruffle things that almost look like they're little pieces of fur going down her sweater. But yeah, it's like this gold mohair ruffly. I'm like, dude, that's hideous. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if you're looking at it going, no, that's pretty. I'm sorry. I think this sweater would have been fine on its own. That sweater could have stood alone on its own. When you put those gold ruffle things on there. Now this is one of the few things that I was like, okay, this is okay. I don't like the color. I don't like gold colors. I can't wear them. But I kind of like the design, the way it's kind of ruched at the bottom, and it has like a little lacy thing peeking out from under it. This was the only thing that I looked at, and I was like, that's okay. I don't hate it. Let's see. Oh, and this purse. This was the only other thing. Okay, if you have like that ribbon yarn, the only thing I think it's good for is maybe something like this. Little clutch. It doesn't belong on a sweater. And then for some reason, okay, I don't know who in their right mind would wear this. Because it's winter, it's cold. And then there's this mesh, like little opening eyelet-y thing down this dress. Can we say burr? I'm like, really, no one wears slips these days. You're not, I mean, you'd have to go totally underwearless and braless for, I don't know. I'm not crazy about the flower motif thing. I think the sweater would have been nice if they wouldn't have put like this mesh pattern on the sleeves and down the side and just made it solid. Just do solid panels. I think this would have been much better. And like I said, especially without the motif, but you can leave the motif off. Now, I really hate to feel this way about Vogue, because I normally really enjoy flipping through a Vogue. But let's talk chunky. Okay, for some reason, people think that chunky stuff is trend. Okay, they're lying to you. Nobody should wear this. Okay, this model is probably as big as a toothpick. Beautiful girl. This makes her look huge and dowdy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be harsh, but seriously, it makes her look, I mean, you can see her legs sticking out. I mean, this thing is huge. Nobody looks flattering in a big, huge, chunky dress. I don't hate the color. I don't particularly hate the style of the dress. I think it was just bad yarn choice. I just... Ugh. Moving on into more chunky. Let's make women look as fat as they possibly can. First, there's this. Yeah. Big and chunky and no shape. Big and chunky and no shape. I mean, I feel so much in this magazine is big and chunky with no shape. And then this thing, this poor girl, she looks miserable in this picture, and I can see why. Really big and chunky, no shape, and makes you look like a rhino. It's big and gray and prickly looking. I'm like, this poor girl, I feel just sorry for her having to model this, because it's so big and floppy in the front. And it, like I said, it's like the color of a rhino. It looks like rhino skin. That's what it reminds me of. I look at that and I'm like, it looks like rhino skin. I just don't like it. I don't like a single thing about it. I mean, and there's so much more in here, but these are like the worst. The worst. And because there's not a whole lot I can show you that's better. Now, normally in a holiday issue, I expect a little more accessories. I mean, normally, it's the holidays. You want quick and easy projects. Or at least cute and stylish. But once again, you got big and bulky hats that do nothing for me. I hate pom-poms on the top of a hat. I don't like them. All these have pom-poms. I don't know. The knee-high socks, they're... What is it? It's bulky cable stocks using double strand Lorna's Laces sport weight. So they're thick and chunky socks. I don't like thick and chunky socks myself. I don't think they look good, and I don't think they feel good. But that's just my opinion. If you want heavy, thick socks that go up over your knees, these could be for you. I like the pattern. That's what stinks, is I like the cable pattern. I think they had potential. They lost me at holding a sport weight double strand to make socks. And it's all that way. All the stupid pom-pom. Sorry if you like pom-poms. They're cute on kids' hats, not on grown-ups. And all of it's just big and chunky, and it's only a trend because they tell you it is. That's it. You don't have to knit with thick and chunky yarn. I promise you. Then a lot of it's like really thick and chunky, you know, oh, what do you call it? Tip of my tongue. Yeah, military. I was thinking it's an M word. Military inspired. This I don't totally hate. It's just not my style. It's not just because it's blue. It's not something that I would wear. I'm not really into that whole military look. You know. And then there's this. I don't like all the buttons. I like the cabling pattern down the front, but not crazy about the buttons. like I said, I bought this sight unseen. I don't normally flip through a Vogue magazine before I buy it. I take that chance because I like to sit down. I like to really flip through it and take it all in, read the articles. And this, I could have lived without. It just, for a holiday issue, it was really disappointing to me. Like I said, I'm so sick of thick and bulky. I understand it's winter, where we're getting into the winter season, but not everything has to be big and bulky and unflattering. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to see some models look happy for a change, because lately they've all looked pissed off and miserable. And I'm like, you're skinny and pretty and in a magazine. Smile. I don't have anything all spun up, but I do have something on the bobbin. I'm excited. This is Western Sky Knits. It is UK Shetland. It is a little hairy. It's not overly soft. It's definitely not a merino or a polwarth, but it's not quite as coarse as a Corriedale. I love these colors. I had been trying to score some of this fiber forever, and then I finally had caught an update, and I would love it in yarn. I'm like, I wish somebody would come to me and be like, Jenna, I would love to dye you a yarn to your colors. Like, what is your dream yarn? I'd be like, do this. It is a really bright aqua blue. It is a green, like a grassy green, a pumpkin orange, a raspberry pink, and a nice deep chocolate brown. Not too dark, not quite what I'd call like an espresso, but a little darker than a normal chocolate brown. It is just gorgeous. I want this in striped socks. I want this in a variegated worsted for a toy with a coordinate. I'm like, I am so in love with this. So it's spinning thick. Not thick, but it'll definitely be a worsted weight when I'm done with it. If not almost like an Aran. It could push an Aran. Because it didn't really want to spin overly thin, and I wasn't going to force it because I thought this would make an amazing toy. And this is 2 of the 4 ounces. It is the Bella colorway, and I just call it happy. Because I was so happy to get this. Like I said, it's not the fiber I would have preferred. I would have loved this on Polwarth. Oh my goodness, it would have been over the moon. Because Polwarth, I have just found, is my favorite. But this is okay. Like I said, not my favorite. It's not like I wouldn't want it on my neck, but on my hands or something like that, it would be okay. I did grab my glass of water, so I need a little sip. Because the air, it's a dry. So, now on to fiber. If you are into the World Club and you have not gotten your November shipment yet, and you don't want to be spoiled, it's time to look away. So, okay, the last 2 club shipments were kind of a disappointment to me because they were blue. And one was like blue and gray, and one was blue and brown, and I'm like, enough with the blue. So this month, holy crap, was it up my alley. Oh yeah, you see this beauty? Beautiful. And it is Corriedale. I am in the classic club because for what I spin, I normally spin a worsted, between a worsted and a sport weight, and mine will probably most likely become toys. So I don't need the luxe. So it is kind of like this deeper green to a lime green to a bright yellow with little splashes of orange, some orange here, into a red, and into this deep reddish plum. I mean, holy crap, people. This is perfect for me. I can't even tell you how much I squeed with joy when I got this. Oh, look at that. It just, oh my gosh. It is so pretty. This is everything I would have hoped for. Like I said, kind of bummed that it's on Corriedale, only because I'm like, this would have made such a nice cowl or hat, or like I would have liked this like by my face because it's my colors. So let's get some of the red here. So I love this. This is me. So the colorway to me is unpronounceable. Okay, so it is. I will spell it, and if I can remember, I will put it down here. It is IROHAMOMIGI. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin to pronounce that. Now, somewhere on the Into the World board on Ravelry, there was a link where you could click on it and it would pronounce it, and I still wasn't 100% sure. So I don't remember if it was the name of the tree or something, because it was a tree that turned all these beautiful colors in the fall. I don't know if it was the tree or the name of a park, or I don't remember exactly where the name came from. But it was gorgeous. I love it. I'm definitely keeping this one. Because, you know, that's the nice thing about the End of the World Club is if you decide you don't like that month's colorway, there are people usually kind of waiting for somebody to sell them the club colorway, because the club is full right now, last I knew. I do believe if you go to the Into the World website, you can sign up to be emailed when spots are open. So there's the Classic Club, which is usually the Polworth, the Merino, Corriedale. We had Rambouillet once, stuff like that. The Luxe is where you're going to get your silk and Angora, maybe, you know, stuff like that, your blends. So that is all for my fiber. I love that fiber club. I did sign up again for the Greenwood Fiberworks club. I picked the basic club, so it's 3 months, and you'll get a BFL, a Merino, and a Polworth, like one each month. I loved the Greenwood Fiberworks club last time I was in it. What was it, like early summer or so? That was amazing. That was great. I'm so glad I was able to get into that. And previous club members were offered a spot first, which I greatly appreciate. But I guess the previous club members only took up half the spots, so half the spots will be open. So I believe she's planning on getting the shipment out by the end of the month, and I am very much looking forward to that. I think it was a really affordable club. It was what, $55 for 3 months? I believe that included shipping. But don't hold me to it. And then, of course, if you picked, like, you know, a merino silk blend, like they had like a kind of like a luxury club, it was more, you know. I just like the basic fibers, so I can't wait for that to start rolling in and seeing the amazing colorways that are going to come out of that, because I loved every single one of the last clubs. So I don't do a lot of clubs because I have learned, I think my taste is too picky for a club. I like what I like, and as much as I try to expand my comfort zone, when it comes to having to pay for stuff, it just isn't happening right now. So I have to be choosy about what I decide to join, and I was 100% satisfied with that. I think Greenwood Fiberworks is right up there with Fiber Prep, colorways, and everything with Into the World. For sure. So if you really want amazing fiber, I would definitely check it out. I'd be like, and I'm not being paid to say that. Real quick, because it totally slipped my mind to mention knit-alongs. knit-alongs are going on. We have several entries for the Season of Giving knit-along. I'm telling you, I think there's some people out there to win. I think it's great. So many people are motivated to get gifts in. Lots of stuff rolling in. It's amazing. I love seeing what people are going to give other people, because then it gives me ideas. And then the other knit-along is the Christmas Favorites, which is an ebook. They're Christmas ornaments by me, made out of worsted weight, so they knit up super quick, and they're super cute. So there's already some of those entered as well, and you can double dip into both knit-alongs. So if you knit ornaments and then you're going to give them away, you enter them in the Season of Giving knit-along. So those are going on. Don't forget about those. Mystery pre-order. You have 5 days. 5 days to get it in. I can't wait. I can't wait for you all to see it. I'm like, I want to be like, you're going to love it, because I really think you're going to love it, but hopefully I'm not overestimating. I don't know. Sometimes I get nervous. I don't know if other designers get that way. When you release a pattern, I'm like a nervous wreck. So don't forget. Mystery toy pre-order. Go pre-order it. I think you're going to love it. And it's only $5. And if you decide you want it and cute little Theodore here, buy both of them together and you'll save $2. So it's 2 great patterns for $10. Say huh. So, alright. Well, that's it for me this week. I have a ton of stuff to do. I gotta get my elephant put together. It's crazy here because Thanksgiving is only 8 days away, which means Christmas will be really close. So that's it for me this week. Until then, oh shoot, I am Jenna, Retro Lemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest, and I think that's it. So until next week, I will see you then. Bye.